Hello dear learners, this is Sindhu Sarkar, an English teacher, English version senior section, Milestone School and College. Welcome you all to an online class. I hope you all are fine by the grace of Almighty. Dear learners, now I am going to conduct a new class with you today, and I hope you will pay attention right from the beginning. So before going to start our new lesson, I am going to ask some questions from the previous lesson. Now, here I have written some questions from the previous lesson. I think you have learned the previous lesson properly. So here first question for you. What is the profession of Zainul? Then second question. Where does Mr. Zainul live? Then number C. What does Mrs. Nazma do? Then number D. What are the names of their daughters? Then E number question for you, that is, what is the meaning of the word illiterate? So I think you will be able to write down the answers. Okay dear learners, now match the answers with me. Here the answer of the first question is Mr. Zainul is a carpenter. Okay. Then answer of the second question is Mr. Zainul lives in a small village. Then C. What does Mrs. Nazma do? The answer will be Mrs. Nazma is a housewife. Actually, she does all the works of the house. Okay. Then D. What are the names of their daughters? Mitu and Nitu are the names of their daughters. Then E. What is the meaning of word illiterate? So the meaning of the word illiterate will be unable to read and write. Okay. So these are the answers of these questions. I think all of you have written the answers and you have got all the answers. Okay dear learners, now we are going to start our today's topics. But I am not mentioning the name of today's topic. Actually, you will identify after going through these three sentences. Okay. So here first sentence is Rimi is a good student. And then second one is Shimi is better than any other student. And then Nubha is the best student in the class. So now can we guess? Yes, this is the comparison of adjective, or you may say degree. Okay dear learners, our today's topic is degree, or you can say comparison of adjective. Okay. So here, you have already got the idea about positive degree, comparative degree and superlative degree. So here first on positive, and I have given here some instructions, some structures. Okay. So first one here, simple positive, subject plus verb, then we will get a or an, then adjective, and then noun or pronoun. Okay, if you get this structure, then in case of comparative, the structure will be subject plus verb, then adjective, comparative form of the adjective, then any other, then noun. Okay. And then in case of superlative, the structure will be subject plus verb, then the, then adjective in the superlative form, then noun, and then other words. Okay. So here look at the example. In case of positive degree, he is a good boy. Simple positive, and it will be according to the structure. What it will be? He is better than any other boy. Okay. In case of superlative, it will be he is the best boy. So you have got here structure. According to the structure, we can do it. Okay, dear learners. Okay, now we are going to the next structure. Here, in case of positive, the structure is here, no other, then plus noun, then verb, then as, then adjective, and then as again, and then other words. Now look at the structure of the comparative degree. Here, subject second. So second subject of the positive degree will be used, okay, in case of comparative degree, and then verb, and then adjective, I mean comparative form of the adjective, and then any other, then noun, and then other words. Now look at the structure of the superlative degree. Subject second will be used at the beginning, then verb, and then the, then adjective, I mean superlative form of the adjective, then noun, and then other words. So here look at the example, then it will be more clear to you, dear learners. So here in case of positive degree, no other girl is as brilliant as Shumi. So according to the structure, it is written here, and now according to the structure in the comparative form, what it will be? It will be Shumi is more brilliant than any other girl. So according to the structure, you are getting here this sentence, okay? By the same process, in case of superlative degree, you will get that. Here, Shumi is the most brilliant girl. So match the structure with the example, then it will be pretty clear to you, okay? Okay, dear learners, now we are moving to the next structure here, positive degree. Very few, then noun, and it will be in the plural form, okay? Then verb, then as, then adjective, then again as, and then other words, okay? Dear learners, now look at the comparative form, I mean structure of the comparative degree. Here subject second, then verb, and then adjective, I mean comparative form of the adjective, and then most other. Look at here, then most other. In the previous rule, you have used than any other. I mean in the previous structure, you have used than any other, but here than most others. Okay, now in the plural form, and then other words. Now dear learners, look at the structure of the superlative degree. Here subject plus verb, and then one of the. So here you have to use one of the. In the previous structure, you have used the, okay? Then superlative form of the adjective, and then noun in plural forms, okay, and then other words. So dear learners, we have got here structures. Now look at the example to make it more clear, okay? Here very few cities are so, or as you can use, busy as Dhaka. So very few cities are as busy as Dhaka, or you can say very few cities are so busy as Dhaka, okay? So according to the structure, look at the example here, I mean example of the comparative degree. Dhaka is busier than most other cities, okay? So noun will be plural form, so as cities. If you write city, it will be wrong, okay, dear learners. Now look at the example of superlative degree. Look at the example of superlative degree. Dhaka is one of the busiest cities. Dhaka is one of the busiest cities, okay? So according to the structure, if you match with your examples, then I think you will be able to do it properly. I mean you will get the proper idea, okay? Dear learners, now we are moving towards the next structure. Here positive degree. The structure of the positive degree, subject plus verb, then as, then adjective, and then as, then noun. If you get this structure in case of positive degree, the structure of the comparative degree will be subject second will be used, then verb, then not, then adjective, I mean comparative form of the adjective, or less, okay, then subject first will be used. It has no superlative structure, okay? So dear learners, now look at the example of the positive degree. He is as clever as a fox. So the structure of the comparative degree, it will be a fox is not cleverer than he. So Dear learners, here it is written second subject. So here look at the example. He is as clever as a fox. You know, fox, here a fox is a second subject. So it will be used in the beginning of the comparative degree. Okay, a fox. So I think you have understood, dear learners. Now we are going to learn another structure. Here, look at the structure of the positive degree here. Subject plus verb, then not, then as, then adjective, then as, and then noun. Okay, if you get this structure, it will be in the comparative form. Look at the structure, then it will be clear. Subject second, I have made it clear to you. Subject second, the idea of subject second. Okay, I mean second subject here, then verb, then adjective, I mean comparative form of the adjective, then less, then subject first, I mean first subject. Okay, it has no superlative structure. So now look at the example of the positive degree. Okay, dear learners, here you are not as tall as Rahul. So here second subject, you know, Rahul. Okay, so in case of comparative degree, Rahul will be used at the outset of the sentence. Okay, so here Rahul is taller than you. Rahul is taller than you. Okay, dear learners, now we are going to learn another rule. Here, as soon as, if you get in the positive degree as soon as, then in case of comparative degree you have to use no sooner had, and then. Okay, no sooner had, then you have to use subject, then you have to use, you know, V3, I mean past participle form of the verb. Okay, then we have to use then also. Okay, now look at the example. It has no superlative form. So dear learners, we are going to learn now example. As soon as he got the news, he left the place. So here, if you get as soon as, you have to use no sooner had, then subject he, and then V3, I mean past participle form of the verb. So got. So no sooner had he got the news, then you have to use then according to the structure, then rest of the part of the sentence. So he left the place. So the sentence will be, I mean example will be, no sooner had he got the news, then he left the place. Dear learners, I think all of you have understood it. Okay. Now, dear learners, look at the structure of the positive degree again. No other. If you get no other, then noun in singular form, then verb, then as, then adjective, and then as, and then noun. So what will be in the comparative form? Subject second, then verb, then adjective in the comparative form, then all other. After then you have to use all other, and then noun in plural form. Okay, dear learners. Now look at the structure of the superlative degree. Subject plus verb, then the, then adjective, I mean adjective in the superlative form, then of all plus noun in the plural form. Noun in the plural form. Okay. Now look at the example. No other country is as charming as New Zealand, or you can use here as or so. Okay. So according to the structure, we have got here example. Now in case of comparative degree, here is the example. New Zealand is more charming than all or any other countries. If you use any other country, okay, in that case you have to use any other country. or all. If you use all, in that case you have to use countries. Okay, dear learners, now look at the example of the superlative degree. New Zealand is the most charming of all countries. New Zealand is the most charming of all countries. Okay, dear learners. So I think all of you have understood. Dear learners, you have to practice structure at the same time examples. According to your grammar book, if you practice it more and more, then it will be more clear to you and you will be able to understand everything properly. Okay, dear learners. Now we will practice here. First one, no other boy in the class is as good as Raja. As we have learned the structure, can you change it? Yes, it will be Raja is better than any other boy in the class. So this is the comparative form. Okay, dear learners, now we can change it into superlative form. What will be the answer? This is the answer. Raja is the best boy in the class. So in case of no other, in case of comparative degree, we have to use than any other, and in case of superlative degree, we have to use the. Okay, not one of the. You have to use the here. Okay, dear learners, now here another one for you. Very few boys in the class are as good as Raja. This is in the positive form. If you make it comparative form, what it will be? Raja is better than most other boys in the class. Okay, dear learners. So here Raja is better than most other boys in the class. If you change it into superlative degree, what it will be? Here Raja is one of the best boys in the class. So dear learners, in the previous one we have got that no other. In case of no other, we have got in case of comparative degree than any other. Okay, and then in case of superlative degree we got that the. But here if you get very few in case of positive degree, then you have to use than most other in case of comparative degree, and then in case of superlative degree you have to use one of the. Okay, so here you have got. So I think all of you have understood. Okay, dear learners, now here next one for you. Taskin is as tall as Mashrafi. This is positive degree, and this one is comparative degree. So Mashrafi is not taller than Taskin. So here if you get comparison between two person, two things, okay, and if it is in the positive form, I mean affirmative form, in case of comparative degree you have to make it in the negative form, and second subject will be used in the outset of the comparative degree. So here we have got that. Okay, dear learners, now next one, Mashrafi is not as tall as Taskin. So there is a similarity between this sentence, I mean 3 and 4. In the 3 number sentence, I mean positive degree, you have got the affirmative form, but you are getting here Mashrafi is not as tall as Taskin. So here you are getting it in the negative form. So if you get negative form, you have to make it positive form in case of comparative degree. So here this is the answer. Taskin is taller than Mashrafi. And second subject will be used at the outset of the comparative degree. So here we have got that. Okay, dear learners, I think all of you are understanding it. Okay, now dear learners, next one for you. Shakespeare is the greatest of all poets in the world. This is the superlative degree. Okay, now this is comparative degree. Shakespeare is greater than all other poets in the world. So if you get of all in case of comparative degree you have to use than all others. Okay, dear learners. So Shakespeare is greater than all other poets in the world. Okay, now next one for you. Bonalata is the best of any poem in the world. This is in the superlative form, dear learners. Now, if you change it into comparative form, what it will be here? Bonalata is better than any other poem in the world. So, of any and of all, dear learners, keep it in your mind that if you get of all, in that case you have to use then all other in case of comparative degree, and if you get of any in the comparative form you have to use than any other. Okay, this is very much simple. I think you have understood it. Okay, dear learners, so Bonalata is better than any other poem in the world. Okay, dear learners, now I am going to give you some questions the way you will get in your exam. I will give here some questions and I think you will be able to solve it, and I will give you the answer also. So dear learners, here first one for you. Rumi is the happiest girl in the class. Make it positive degree. You have to make it positive degree. You know, beside the sentence, I mean within the bracket, if you get this type of positive degree, comparative degree or superlative degree, if it is written in this way, you have to change, okay, in that form. So if it is written in the positive, so this sentence, you know, is in the superlative form. So you have to change it into positive form. Okay. So what will be the positive form? Yes, this one. This is the answer for you. No other girl in the class is as happy as Rumi. Okay, dear learners. Now, next one for you. Here, Pavel is as tall as Ontu. Make it comparative. So what will be the answer? Yes, Ontu is not taller than Pavel. Okay, dear learners. Now, next question for you. Here, very few poets are as great as Tagore. You have to make it comparative degree. So what will be the answer? Yes, Tagore is greater than most other poets. I have told you earlier in the structure that if you get very few, you have to use than most other in case of comparative degree. Okay, dear learners. Now, next one for you. The pen is mightier than sword. You have to make it positive degree. What will be the answer? Yes. The sword is not, you can use as so or as mighty as the pen, or the sword is not as mighty as the pen. Okay, dear learners. Now, next one. Here, she is not less beautiful than you. You have to make it positive degree. So what will be the answer? Yes, she is as beautiful as you. Okay, dear learners. Now, next one for you. Iron is more useful than any other metal. You have to make it positive degree. This is the answer for you. No other metal is as useful as iron. Okay, dear learners. Now, next one for you. No other island in the world is as large as Greenland. You have to make it comparative degree. So, what will be answer? So, what will be the answer? Yes, this is the answer for you. Greenland is larger than any other island in the world. Okay, dear learners, I think you have understood. Okay, Now, next one for you. China is larger than India. So you have to make it positive. I have told you, if it is, if you get the comparison between two persons or two things, in that case, it is in the positive form, you have to make it negative. And second subject will be used in the beginning of the positive degree or comparative degree. Okay. So here, India is not as large as China. So, you have got the answer. India is not as large as China. Okay, dear learners, now next one for you. Dhaka is larger than any other district in Bangladesh. You have to make it superlative degree. So what will be the answer? Yes, this is the answer for you. Dhaka is the largest district in Bangladesh. Okay. Okay, dear learners. Now, next one for you. She is better than I. You have to make it positive degree. So what will be the answer? Yes, this is the answer for you. I am not as good as she. Sometimes you will write here, I am not as good as her. If you write her, it will be a great mistake. Okay, dear learners, it will be a wrong sentence. Okay, so you have to write the subjective form. You cannot use the objective form. Okay, so it will be she. I am not as good as she. Okay, dear learners, now next one for you. He is one of the most obedient students in the class. I have told you in the structure that if you get one of the, then after one of the noun will be in the plural form. So here noun students, no student. If you use student, then it will be wrong. Okay, dear learners. Now this is the answer for you. She is more obedient than most other students in the class. Okay. Now, dear learners, next one for you. Here, she is the most polite girl in the section. You have to make it positive. So, what will be the answer? Yes, this is the answer for you. No other girl in the section is as polite as she. So, you have got here again the subjective form she. Okay, dear learners, I think you have understood. Now, next one for you. I earn as much money as Ram. You have to make it superlative degree. So what will be the answer? Yes, this is the answer for you. Ram does not earn more money than I do. Or you can write up to I. Okay, dear learners, sometimes you will get it in your grammar book that then I, up to I. Okay, but there do will be silent. You can write up to I also. So here Ram does not earn more money than I, or you can write than I do. Okay, dear learners. Now, next one for you. Dhaka is larger than any other town in Bangladesh. You have to make it superlative degree. So, what will be the superlative form? Can you remember? Yes, this one is the superlative degree. Dhaka is the largest town in Bangladesh. So, this is the superlative form. Dhaka is the largest town in Bangladesh. Okay, in case of then any other, we have to use the in case of superlative degree. Okay, dear learners, now next one for you. Gold is the most precious metal. So you have to make it comparative degree. So what will be the answer? Yes, dear learners, this is the answer for you. Gold is more precious than any other metal. Gold is more precious than any other metal. So we have practiced today a lot. I think, dear learners, you have understood it. Now in the feedback session, I will give you some questions. I think you will be able to solve it. Okay, dear learners, Now in the feedback session, I have given some questions for you. I think you will be able to write down the answers. So first question for you, Rahul is the tallest boy in the class. You have to make it positive. Then, very few metals are as useful as iron. You have to make it superlative. Then, see, no other country is as rich as America. You have to make it comparative. Okay. Then, last one, she is better than you. You have to make it positive. I think you will be able to write down the answers properly. I am also writing the answers. You will match the answers with me. First one, Rahul is the tallest boy in the class. So it will be no other boy in the class is as tall as Rahul. Okay. Now, answer of the second question, very few metals are as useful as iron. So, superlative will be iron is one of the most useful metals. Here look at the noun, it will be plural. Okay. Now, see, no other country is as rich as America. So, you have to make it comparative. So, what will be the answer? America is richer than any other country. Then, she is better than you. What will be the positive form? Yes, it will be you are not as good as she. Okay. So, I think all of you have written the correct answers. Okay, dear learners, I think all of you have done well in the feedback session and you have taken part the classes properly. Okay. Now, this is the homework for you. Write it down. I think all of you have written the homework. So, I think all of you have collected all the informations from this class. Okay. So, see you again. Thank you all.